I got the Juno final chapter 27 ounce with the UTH 33 handle, 13-inch barrel with an end load. We're gonna break it in with some 52s, just kind of get it loosened up, and then we'll send it with some hard stuff. So the thanks in this video goes out to you guys for your reviews and your support on the channel. It does help generate revenue, so we can be able to reach out and grab some bats like this that's kind of a limited release. Get out, grab one, get a review in on it so you guys can see what's up with it. And also thanks to the Patreon supporters that are out there. A nice little cash influx to the channel is always good for things like this as well. So thank you very much to you guys for making this review possible for us. Now, I did forget to mention in my little intro there that the field of conditions we're hitting on here, if you're new to the channel or not familiar with this field is essentially 290 all the way around, and it's about 50-ish degrees on this day with a pretty steady wind blowing pretty much straight in all day long. Go freaking figure, right? So just for reference, if you are new to the channel or this is one of my first videos that you're checking out, I do always try and put what balls we're hitting in the video in what segment, just so you can kind of have a general idea of what to be looking for performance-wise and that kind of thing. And I also know that some of you hit different balls, so always try and hit a mix of stuff just to try and get a little bit of something for everybody here. And as I said, this bat is stickered as a 27.5, and it did feel true to weight in my opinion. Felt like it was right where it should have been as far as swing weight goes. This bat is certified for USSSA play and NSA play, and it does feature the USSSA 240 stamp, which will be needed if you do plan on playing in any conference events or anywhere that might require you to have that stamp, but this stamp can be used anywhere in UTRIP play. This bat was brand new when we got this day started, and I put about 60-ish swings on it with some 52 300s just to kind of get a gauge on how it was going to break in and get the barrel itself loosened up. And then we ended up putting about 30 swings on it with some of the harder stuff. We didn't want to get too carried away on a bit of a cooler day because we do need this to pass compression for a couple of events that we do have on our schedule. I do believe if you go to the website, these are available in a variety of inloads. I got mine from headbangersports.com. You can hit me up and I can get you one. What they feature there is the half-ounce inload version of this model with the UTH 33 or 43 handle.
On the way out.
At the time of making this video, I'm not sure what's left for availability, but shoot me a message and I can definitely get you hooked up with one. The half-ounce inload on this felt super smooth. I really liked the drive that it gave, like an inloaded bat would, and it still offered a ton of control. I couldn't ask for much more out of an inloaded bat than this thing gave us. Job very well done on that part. So as far as barrel feel, the overall consensus that I'm getting from some of the 240 bats that I have swung is that they are going to have a little bit of a stiffer feel to them than the 220 standard bats did. Feedback-wise, this barrel felt great with the 52 300 balls. The ball being super soft made using this entire barrel very easy because the ball wasn't hard enough to give much bad feedback. Feedback did change once we moved into the Pro-Ms and the 44s and was just about night and day from the 52s. And all of that was because of the forgiveness of the softer ball was gone. Still felt like it hit them fine, it was just way different feedback that we were expecting. Once we got adjusted to where it needed to be hit consistently with this harder stuff, it was right back to that good feeling barrel that we had experienced with the 52s. And I will say that the sweet spot for being a 13-inch barrel was a little bit on the smaller side, but I do think that's going to be a theme with the 240 bats, not just this bat or any of the Junos in general. Time will tell as we get more of these reviews in, but the handful of the 240 stamps that I have swung, they have all had a bit of a stiffer and a little less forgiving feel to them. And as I mentioned, the handle on this is the UTH 33 handle, and it was again dependent on the feedback of the softballs, just like I mentioned with the barrel. We didn't have any feedback at all with the 52s, but once we got into the harder stuff and got that barrel flexing, the feedback was coming down into the somewhat flexy handle. For sake of comparison, since Juno is new to the market and new to a lot of us, I'd put this somewhere between a super flexy composite DeMarini handle and a Worth and Mikan handle. Only a small bit of buzz in the hands if you missed, but didn't notice a whole lot outside of that. with the details out of the way, let's head over to the labs, and then I'll give them my overall thoughts on this thing. All right, so stopping in at the labs here, first thing we're going to do is have a look at the compression tester. And this thing was testing right at 300 almost, new and wrapper, before we got any swings on it on this day. And after about these 60-ish swings we put on it with 52s, we're looking at only coming down like 10 pounds compression, and right around the 288 mark according to the chart here. And after about the 30 swings that we put on it with the harder 44s and Pro-Ms, we did see about a 15-ish pound drop in compression down to about the 270 mark. And we pretty much shut it down here as far as the swings went. We didn't go any further because it was a cool day, and there was really no sense in beating on this thing a ton because, like I said, we do need it to pass compression. It's not like I felt like it was going to fail in another 20 or 30 swings, but, you know, just try and save it and try and stretch it to get it to last, you know, at least through one, maybe two events that we've got on the schedule. If we've got more than a couple of guys swinging this thing, that's something we kind of need to consider here. And we did throw this thing on the scale once we got back home just to check and see what was up with the scale. And with the original grip on it, it did come in at 27.2. This was right where I expected it to be. For the returning guys, there is no BP Hero Labs this time, but since we're getting this year started with our first full review, it'll be back for the next video. So be sure and drop your comments, see if your comment makes the top comments, and we'll say hey to the new subs in the next video. With all this stuff out of the way, let's head back to the field. So, my overall thoughts on this thing. I did enjoy it. Hopefully, we'll be able to update in the future after the conference events that we have scheduled so we can swing away with this thing. But I can't say for certain that that'll happen. I did think the performance that we were getting out of this bat felt right in line for where it needed to be and should have been compression-wise. It was nice and is only going to get better as time goes on and it breaks in more. Putting some swings on it to get used to the feel. Once we understood what this 240 performance wanted, the performance that we're already seeing, combined with how great this thing felt as far as coming through the zone with the end load and the barrel size and everything, it all felt really good to me. And for my first actual review of a 240 bat and a Juno, I am glad to say that we're starting 2021 off on the right foot and giving this thing the stamp of approval. I do think that the main takeaway that I will say for any of these 240 bats so far is that it does seem that they're going to make you earn your hits. If you could hit before, you're still going to be able to hit. There seems to be a great balance between performance and the forgiveness of the bat, that you're going to have to barrel balls with good swings to get them to do what you want, which is how it should be. I can't speculate too soon, but it is appearing that the day and age of people hitting home runs on command that have no business even hitting any might be over. And also the fact that you're actually going to have to put some sweet spot on a ball to get it to go is a good thing in my eyes as well. Practically all of the 220 models from the last few years were nothing but sweet spot as far as the barrel goes, and they broke in so fast and performed so well that there was hardly any effort or thought put into being a good hitter. So to go from that to where we are now with the initial impression of the 240s is a good spot to be in my opinion. Normally we'd be able to hit balls out of this field with not a lot of issue with a 220 bat and the same amount of swings and the balls and the conditions that we were hitting in. And in my opinion, that is another testament to making you earn those swings really being relevant here. It took a perfect swing to get a ball out of this field with the wind gusting in like it was, and that's exactly how it should have been. A little bit of a Rambletron over here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for stopping in and checking it out, guys. If you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button. Make sure you got those notifications turned on. Swing hard in case you hit it, and I'll catch you in the next video. just had to know that I could. Woo! Thanks, 290.